Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, April 2nd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this would be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, we'll take a look at MLGO, and a very, very rough day on this one. Now, I emphasize day because from the overall standpoint, I get it. It's still very much so in an upwards movement. And to think that this thing not that long ago was down here and then here, and now it's all the way up here. I get it. Big picture wise, the chart is doing just fine. But today, individually, very, very rough move when you stop and think about the fact that the stock opened up with a gap. And I should note this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the previous video. But if you did, I mapped out that resistance line right there. And you can't make this stuff up. Look right where it got rejected, right at that trend line. So the power of charts. But opened up right there, and I think that there are some poor souls that bought right there. I hope they use stop losses because after that, a plunge from the 30s all the way down below $20. Now, to give credit where credit's due, good to see that the bulls did show up right there at that purple line, which on my chart denotes the very famous 50-period moving average. So moving forward, that is going to remain the near-term and key level of support that you want to see the price hold above. I'm going to get rid of that level. I'm definitely leaving that resistance line in there as it played out, like I said, very, very importantly today. But as of now, that line's pretty irrelevant given the price is way down here. But nonetheless, I still want to leave it on the chart. So moving forward, keep an eye on the purple line right there again as that key area of support. And then in regards to levels of resistance and more so the near term, the level that I think stands out. Whoops, let's do this. There we go. And then I'll make it look a little bit different to help stand out. But the near term level of resistance, if there's going to be any sort of attempted movement back up to these highs, they're right there around $24.50. So right now, interesting situation. Obviously, that was very messy, but it did recover, and now it's just consolidating in this tight little range. So can there be a break to the upside? Let's keep an eye on it for Wednesday. Next one, ICCT, and the upwards move continues. Talked about this one in yesterday's video, and this thing is just breaking through all sorts of areas of support and resistance. So we'll just start afresh here. And moving forward, the ideal level of support, when you say, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? And that would be if the price could maintain above that area right there. With that being said, if the price falls below that level, that doesn't mean the chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that. But yeah, if the price could stay above there, that would be a very impressive sign of strength. If the price does break below there, then from the overarching standpoint, in my opinion at least, it's all about that purple line right there, the 50-period simple moving average. Keyword being moving, because I get it, the price is way up here, this line's way down here. But as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant. So watch that from the overarching standpoint. And then on the flip side of things, in terms of areas of resistance, key level to watch right now is that area, which is giving us a rising wedge pattern, which is a bearish pattern. Now, that doesn't mean that the price is going to crash, but would people be shocked if this thing all of a sudden decided to pull back a little bit more? No, I don't think anybody would be shocked by that because this has made a crazy move. And again, pullbacks are part of it. And as long as pullbacks build those higher bases and why that purple line is important, then overall the chart is doing just fine. So I would call this a rising wedge. I'd look for some sort of pullback, but this thing has also been very strong. So we'll see how the next days play out. Next one here, NMAX, an absolute monster, and one where if you like volatility, well, here you go. But once again, on terms of patterns, we have ourselves another rising wedge pattern. So I'm going to go this a little quicker. As I've just said, rising wedge does not mean for sure guaranteed anything's going down or that there's a crash or anything like that. But this does suggest that a pullback could very well be in store. So keep an eye on that. But again, even if the price, and I'm not saying this will occur, were to pull back all the way here, what would you still have from the bigger picture? Well, you'd have a set of lows there. You'd have lows there. You'd have these lows down there. And again, emphasis on bigger picture. From the overall standpoint, if you envision those as stair steps, you'd still clearly have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. So again, rising wedge does not mean a full-blown crash, but I could see some sort of pullback occurring, which again, I don't think is very shocking given how monstrous this move has been. So overall though, big movement, rising wedge pattern. We'll see if this does indeed produce a pullback. Next one here, BIAF. Very, very impressive movement today. So let's get this mapped out from a pattern standpoint. So I think the key area of resistance that a lot of people are going to care about moving forward, right there at the $1.35 mark. And then along with the $1.35, we have this upwards trend line right there. And then just to make this easier to see, let's keep it one color. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the big explosive move right there. And then for you golfers, trying to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something's bearish, as we talked about, does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go down. Go down. Same is true for bullish patterns. Just because there's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go up. But would it be shocking? Would it just catch people off guard if this thing came up here, broke through that level, and then that break right there in and of itself created more buying pressure? I don't think anybody would be shocked by that. They would just say, oh, look, that was just a bull pennant breakout. So if you like this price range down below $5, you like bull pennants, keep an eye on it. Next one here, NVDA, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the previous videos, but if you have mapped out that area of resistance right not there, and as I speak, you can see the price is actually making very, very important progress in two forms. Form number one, yes, the price is above the red line there, but form number two, and you have to look closer, but the price is actually now up above that purple line too, that 50-period moving average, which has been a resistance, including earlier on in the day right there. So a nice breakout is underway, which leads to the always exciting question to ask. Is this the start of something even bigger? Now think about that question. It makes no sense to ask it if nothing worthwhile is happening. But in this situation, something worthwhile is happening. It's gotten the break. Now, to be fair, maybe this thing just rolls right back over. That's always a possibility. But also, to be fair, that's a two-sided coin because, maybe this is the start of something much bigger, and this thing's getting ready to rock and roll. So definitely a very interesting dynamic here. So yeah, it's breaking out, but is the break the start of something even bigger? Grab your popcorn. Real quick, I want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box below you can use to sign up. Or if you're watching this right at my website, there's an area on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, taking a look at RSLS, and we have ourselves another solid pattern here. Now, there is a little bit of perspective. I get it if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within, 7 minutes. Well, then from that standpoint, things are looking pretty rough. But overall, very, very nice movement. And sure, to be fair, there is a pullback that is occurring right now. But that's just more of the nearer term, because if you care about more so the bigger picture, sure, you'll acknowledge there's been a pullback right here. But you'll also say, yeah, but what was going on before this pullback? And you say, well, the price was actually right there before moving all the way up there, which is now giving us a bull flag pattern. So as already mentioned, just because something's in a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. But would it be shocking if the price came up here, broke through there, and then that break right there created more buying pressure? I don't think anybody would be shocked by that. Again, not guaranteed to happen, but certainly a plausible set of circumstances. So if you like the price range here, you like bull flag patterns, here you go. Next one, CSAI, and this is a pretty rough pullback here. There's no doubt about it from where it hit the highs to where it is right now. Big pullback, but what I find interesting about this one is its current location and the candle's current location. You can, whoops, grab the wrong thing there. Let's see. Current location is right there at not only the pink line there, which is the 200-period moving average, but also the purple line, and now you're getting what would be called a hammer candle here. So all these things guarantee nothing, but it does make it plausible to at least throw out the suggestion that, hey, maybe, just maybe, this thing's getting ready to at least go sideways and then maybe turn back up. Now, does it ever get back up to those highs? I'm not saying that. But from a risk versus reward scenario, relative to what's being risked, so this assumes that you're going to be a disciplined trader, you could be looking at some very nice upside potential. But again, that's why risk management matters, because this thing could very well just keep on bleeding and you don't want to turn into one of those bag holders. But my point here is it's at least now at a plausible area on the chart at these moving averages where you could think that, okay, maybe this pullback is over, maybe some sort of bounce is going to occur. So if you like these sorts of situations where, yeah, things are looking pretty ugly here, but there can be opportunity in the ugly where things maybe try to curl back upwards, then certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. Very nice move on this one today as the upwards move continues. And I think we're going to have ourselves a nice little trend line here. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's going to be a trend line that is worth keeping an eye on. I'm not going to say that everybody and their brother's uncle has drawn that exact same one, but I can see quite a few people drawing it. And plus, it just helps to contribute to the pattern that we have right now. So that is the upper part of the pattern. And then the lower part, I'm not even going to use a trend line. Let's just use the moving average right there, the purple line right there, and treat that as the bottom part of the pattern. So again, to keep everything the same color and hopefully easier to see, we have our area of resistance. We have the area of support there, the purple line. We have the big upward move right there. And then again, for you golfers, let's put the golf hole down here, make it a little bit more visual. We have ourselves a bull pennant pattern. So no guarantees, as I've said and will continue to say, but certainly more than valid to think that if the price were to come up here and get the break up through there, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure. So if you like bull pennant patterns on especially very popular stocks such as Tesla, keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol MVST, and we have ourselves another pennant pattern. So I'm going through this one quicker. I want to respect your time as much as possible. You've already heard me talk about all this sort of stuff. So just going through it quicker, and then just because I can't help myself, let's keep it one color to make sure everybody sees. So we have resistance, we have support, we have nice upwards move there. We have the golf hole down here. So there we have it. We have another bull pennant pattern. I'd say the biggest difference here from Tesla is this one is, down below $5. So maybe you prefer this price range more than the Tesla price range, but you do like bull pennants. So here you go. Next one, we're looking at AMD, and this one had quite the close. I mean, when you look over here at the final 30 minutes of the day, volume came in very strong, and then very, very nice candle there. Still work that needs to be done. What work would this be? First key battleground, now going to be all about that purple line there, 50 period moving average. And then even if the price breaks above there, I want to get overly excited. Don't get me wrong, that's a good step in the right direction, but then you have the red line there. And then even after that, you have the pink line right there. So in other words, there's a lot of areas of resistance. That doesn't mean that the price can't get up through these areas. I'm just saying there's still a whole lot more work that needs to be done. So when I say work, those would be the levels to keep an eye on. But again, you got to give credit where credit's due. Very, very impressive final 30 minutes right there. So we'll see if this momentum carries into Wednesday or not. In terms of key levels of support, an area here that I think is now going to be an important level to watch is just that level right there. Let me make it look a little bit different. So keep a close eye on that. And if the price were to come down there and break below there, again, no such thing as a guarantee in the market, but especially if it's a high volume break of that level, I could see the price then potentially going back down there to revisit those lows around the 98.50 mark. But as of right now, because of that last 30 minutes, good solid pressure in the upwards direction. The bulls seem to be at least waving their hands. I don't know if they're gonna last very long, but they've made an appearance. So does that appearance last into Wednesday, and can it push up through these key battlegrounds? Grab your popcorn for Wednesday. So that wraps up the top 10 stocks. Again, like I mentioned earlier, if you want to learn more about this tool, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. I lost track of my cursor. Where'd my cursor go? There we go. It'll be later this week, Thursday, April 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. And then as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, as always, if you enjoy these, if they're helpful, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're looking for a very free and easy way to help support the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, as it really does help out. So thanks for watching. Take care, and make sure you get signed up for the free class.